What's good, y'all? I'm finding some more and more baffling stuff. Shout out to KSheaO for putting me on game. You know, the age of Aquarius is kicking into high gear. The truth is being revealed. Knowledge is being poured upon us every single day. You know, one thing after another is being brought to the surface, is being brought to the light. You know what I'm saying? And now we're all starting to wake up to what's been going on. You feel me? It's like, well, I was about to get ahead of myself. Before we begin, let me go ahead and just throw out some disclaimers real quick. You know, I am not a legal expert. I am not a lawyer. I can barely understand this legalese. You know, for all I know, I might be saying something incorrect here. But I'm going to be reading this verbatim from the public law that's going to be addressed here shortly. All right, so there can be no misinformation claims because this is public law that I'm reading from that is publicly available to us. All right, lastly, you know, I understand, guys, that I'm above y'all's heads. I'm in the top 1% of the intellects on this planet. I know that's crazy because only the top 1%, only the smartest people can use this crazy program called Google. All right. I know it's crazy. We a different breed up here. All right. I saw this information, typed it in Google, and this is what I'm finding. It's kind of baffling. Okay. You guys can do the same thing. Once again, I didn't feel like reading this 450-page document, just like I'm sure our parents didn't, and our parents' parents didn't. You know, y'all be clicking on the terms and conditions. They could say, hey, you got to cut off your left foot to listen to this music, and you just click because you didn't feel like reading it. All right, I'm guilty of that myself. But nevertheless, please go do your own research. Don't just sit there, but oh, you're faking this. No, I will be leaving the actual PDF. I will be leaving a link to KShea's channel. I'll be leaving a link to the PDF, and I'm gonna make it easier for you. I'm gonna tell you exactly where to look, and you can go which direction you want to in your own research journey. Please go do your own research. With all that being said, let's get started. All right. So this law was passed in 1997. Public Law 10585, November 19th, 1997. The use of human subjects for testing of biological agents. Once again, these were laws that were passed on the civilian population. This law is publicly available for you to read. You have been informed. Because you have not contested it, you have provided your consent. This law is part of a contract between you and the government. When the terms of the contract are known and uncontested, it is called acquiescence. All right. So when I saw Public Law 10585, you know, with my supreme intellect that only the top 1% of the world seemingly have, I went to Google and I typed that in. All right. I found the PDF of this law, and I'm going to make it even easier for y'all. Please go on down to page 287, section 1078, 1078. This is where we begin, where I read y'all a little bedtime story real quick, because this technical jargon just leaves so many opportunities for loopholes. But anyway, restrictions on the use of human subjects for testing of chemical or biological agents. All right. Subsection A, prohibited activities. The Secretary of Defense may not conduct directly or by contract, number one, any test or experiment involving the use of a chemical agent or biological agent on a civilian population. Or number two, any other testing of a chemical agent or biological agent on human subjects. Now, that don't sound too bad. What's the big whoop? Subsection B, the exceptions. Now, let's go ahead and take a quick pause. Let's take a quick little water break real quick. Why are there exceptions to testing on humans? There should be no exceptions to that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get into it. Subject to subsection C, D, and E. The prohibition in subsection A does not apply to a test or experiment carried out for any of the following purposes. Number one, any peaceful purpose. You already see the subjective language. This is what you call loopholes. Any peaceful purpose that is related to a medical, let's get this list, medical, therapeutic, pharmaceutical, agricultural, industrial, or research activity. So you can't test on people unless it's a peaceful research activity. What's peaceful? Anyway, number two, any purpose that is directly related to protection against toxic chemicals or biological weapons and agents. So they can test on you when it's to protect you. Where have we heard this one before? Where have we heard this in recent times? Number 3, any law enforcement purpose, including any purpose related to riot control. Riot control. So you can test on people as long as it's any law enforcement purpose, including any purpose related to riot control. All right. Now, and we're going to circle back to that real quick. But anyway, subsection C, informed consent required. Remember what I just read you, that informed consent? The Secretary of Defense may conduct a test or experiment described in subsection B only if informed consent to the testing was obtained from each human subject in advance of the testing on that subject. So even if they told you decades ago, just from my understanding of this very clear and straightforward law, it's like, I guess we technically have been informed, based off of this law, as long as they let you know 30 days in advance, even if it's 30 days or 30 years, apparently. You feel me? All right. And then there's some other stuff here, but then we're going to skip down to subsection E, biological agent defined. All right. Check this out and use some of these words to current times here. All right. Biological agent defined. In this section, the term biological agent means any microorganism, including bacteria, viruses, fungi, rickettsia, I don't even know what that is, or protozoa, pathogen, or infectious substance, and any naturally occurring, bioengineered, or synthesized component of any such microorganisms, pathogen, or infectious substances, whatever its origin or method of production, that is capable of causing, number 1, death, disease, or any biological malfunction in a human, an animal, a plant, or another living organism. Number 2, deterioration of food, water, equipment, supplies, or materials of any kind. Number 3, deleterious, I've never actually pronounced that word out loud, deleterious alteration of the environment. You know what I'm saying? It's that once again, I know that was a mouthful, and people are like, wait, what? Yo, pause. Please, just go read this for yourself. I might be like articulating the wrong word. I might be putting emphasis on the wrong words. But this is crazy. Regardless of all of that, the viruses, all this type of stuff, viruses, bacteria, whether they're bioengineered, whether they're natural, whatever, that whole little first prohibited activity, subsection A, is an exception if they're quote, quote, fighting against the virus, whether it be man-made or natural, virus or bacteria, or anything made up in a lab or made in the skies or whatever. You see what I'm saying? It's like in the original post, this was called the chemtrail law. But I think this can be applied to some certain other things in our lives. You feel what I'm saying? So anyway, before I say any more, before I misspeak, before they find that one word that they can use to strike this or anything like that, I implore y'all to go do your own research and stop just bending over backwards for these random laws. This is why you need to be like, is that all these laws are some BS anyway, but nevertheless, it's like you need to go do your own research and know what's going on out here. All right. We are the many, they are the few. Remember when politicians were here to serve the people and all this type of stuff, but yet they sandwich laws like this in how long is this thing, like 400 something pages that you know damn well no one read? You know, the masses have been dumbed down to such a crazy level that we can't even like sit through a 10-minute video, let alone read 450 pages of this technical, boring legalese jargon. Who knows what else is in here? And I implore y'all to go look at this. If you got some free time, stop watching twerk videos, stop watching world star fights, stop watching random rappers telling you to go out here and kill yourself, kill your own peoples. Stop watching these singers talking about their boyfriends and oh my god, I can't handle like Taylor Swifts and stuff out here. And go challenge your mind. Go find the truth out here. Some of y'all claim y'all are truth seekers, but y'all are just waiting for the truth to come to y'all. It's a little bit of a give and take is what I want to say. All right. But anyway, my voice is tired from reading all that and I'm getting hot and sweaty. I'm getting passionate. But this is crazy. There are exceptions to human testing. And then when you start to find out that those keywords, therapeutic, and you find out what's going on in those words and words that can be attributed to certain things that are going on, it's crazy. I want to say it, but I know that specifically one of the things that they're ready to flag me on, this AI that's monitoring people's content is ready for it. Say it. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna make it that easy for you. I'm gonna let people find out on their own. When people find out the information on their own, it sticks with them more. You know, once again, I don't care if you agree, disagree, whatever. As long as you went out there and found your own answers, that's what makes me happy. Till the next one, y'all.